slender Rina was not feeling good. Her stomach was hurting really badly and her head was spinning. She was not feeling good after her mouth was covered in blood, and this happened to her. The blood comes out of her mouth and she was not feeling good, and she died after that. And she passed away, and her father suffered in pain in the other room. The father was suffering in pain. His teeth was covered in blood, and he can't take it anymore. And the poison was all over his body, and he can't take it. And he suffered and suffered and suffered, and this happened. And his face melted away, and his hair too, and this is what we came. And the mother has nothing to do. Her stomach hurts, and she can't do anything but to just die. The blood was all the way around her neck, and she have nothing. She lost control of herself and went to the shelf of the kitchen. She took the knife and decided to do what she do in her past ago. She cut her neck, and the bleeding blood became in hand, and she died. Blood was spilling all over her chest and her body, and she passed away, and the knife was still here in the kitchen. She lied on the ground dead, and the house was abandoned for 17 years. And Angeline and Slendrina became ghosts, and Slenderman became a more powerful ghost, and they haunt their old house that they were living in, and this is what happened to them. One night, Slendrina woke up, and this what she saw. She saw is her house, and she was sleeping on the same bed, but the house was all ruined. And she decided to wake up as she saw she was feeling really, really funny about herself. As she stand up for the first time, she saw something she never saw. Her skin was all white, and her eyes was not normal, and her dress was all gray and abandoned. She didn't know what happened. She decided to look in her mirror and saw what's happened. And she see in the mirror, and this is what she see. She looked at herself and saw she was crying blood, and her dress was all more darker, and her mouth was really opened, and her eyes was not normal, and she saw everything she can to see. She was really scared and decided to go and tell her mother and father what happened. She saw them dead, and all changes. Her father's face was not existing anymore, and her hair was ruined, and her mother has blood everywhere, and she can't even see what happened to her parents. And this is what happened to the family. She decided to go and take revenge by anybody who dares to do that to her. She can't believe she really saw this happen. She decided to go and change her own style, and she decided to do it on her own to do it. And suddenly her parents woke up. Her parents were not looking good. They became so powerful they can't even recognize themselves. And the blood was everywhere around Angeline. And his face was melted. Simon's face was melted, and Rita had nothing to do but just look at her parents. They looked at each other and decided to call themselves a new identity. They created a new identity. Rita became Slendrina. Simon became Slenderman, and Angeline became Angelina. They all became monsters and have a new identity, and became to haunt any people who get closer to their house as they can. And it was all ruined, decided to prepare and be like this. The end.